We live, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone is enjoying an awesome. I'm here in front of the Holiday Inn Express over in Uniontown in Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just break down the state of stimulus as yet. As many of you already know, President Donald Trump announced an executive order to mandate that the federal government would fund $400 a week in supplemental unemployment insurance for people on unemployment insurance. He is calling for, through this executive order, that states fund what's called the federal pandemic unemployment compensation package. In this particular case, $400. They dropped from $600 a week, which expired on July 31st. The states would pay 1/4 of that, which would equate to $100, and then the federal government would fund $300. Nonetheless, governors have stated that they don't know if they can put it into place. For instance, Ohio Republican Governor Mike DeWine said this morning on CNN that he doesn't know whether his state would be able to implement these changes in order to pay people on unemployment insurance the additional $400 a week, $100 coming from the state, $300 coming from the federal government. There are other reports online finding that states would take months or weeks in order to implement these changes into the system to get everybody paid. So forget what you heard. Forget about all these YouTubers talking about that stimulus is coming this week, that the extension is going to come this week, but it has not come as yet. As for the state of the economic injury disaster loan advance, this gives us more time, ladies and gentlemen, to continue to contact our congressional representatives via govtrack.us/congress/members/MAC. The executive orders also call for exploring that the Health and Human Services Department, federal agency, explores blocking landlords from evicting renters who have not been able to pay their rent due to the pandemic crisis. They're just exploring it, so they don't even know if they could put that into place, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a lot of smoke and mirrors coming from the executive administration, from the executive branch of government at this particular point, because it's calling for several things. Nonetheless, the federal government's logistics are not in place in order to ensure that all of these programs get executed. That said, it gives us more time to go ahead and continue to lobby for the economic injury disaster loan and go ahead and spread our word. One of the key ways, a number of people kept on asking me, how can we support our message to ensure that the federal government packages S.4227, that is the package that calls for mandating that the Small Business Administration disperse the full $10,000 grant for all legitimate small business applicants of the economic injury disaster loan program. Watch these videos into the end, ladies and gentlemen, the videos that I post in regards to that, because it signals to YouTube that this is a video that people want to watch, and then it'll go ahead and spread our word, because that's my objective, ladies and gentlemen, that S.4227 gets packaged into the next disaster relief package. A number of people are talking that the negotiations are over. Negotiations are not over as yet. Today, Democrats did signal that they are open to compromise in their package. They slashed their ask for the top line number of the disaster relief package from the $3.4 trillion they were requesting through the HEROES Act, all the provisions included in that program, in that proposal. They slashed it by a third if the Republicans, if the GOP and the administration would come back with a $2 trillion package, in other words, doubling their initial $1 trillion counter offer, ladies and gentlemen. In regards to the eviction, all right, they would eviction moratorium, it's not in place as yet. They would explore ways to go ahead and put it into place. Also, the executive order talked about suspensions on payroll taxes. Right now, according to the Constitution, the executive branch of government does not have the ability, the legal power in order to mandate how taxes are collected in the federal government. So just a deferral at this particular moment in time. So a number of lawmakers and public officials are stating that companies are not going to put this tax cut into place because they have to pay for it at the end of the year regardless, nonetheless. And then President Donald Trump, he included the asterisk stating that if he gets elected, so I guess it's a selling point to have people elect him, that he would make it permanent. In other words, he would forgive the loan, he would forgive the deferral of the payment of the payroll tax cuts. So that would create another problem, ladies and gentlemen. So nothing is final until Congress go-aheads and mandates, whether it's an extension at $600 a week, at $400 a week, at $20 a week, whatever it is that Congress comes to an agreement with the administration and with GOP lawmakers. Until Congress does not pass and appropriates this funding, nothing is in place at this particular moment in time. That said, that gives us enough time to continue to lobby the S.4227. As you know, it has 6 co-sponsors as the original sponsors. It has Jackie Rosen from Nevada. She's a senator from Nevada. And we have Senator John Cornyn from Texas, Republican. So we have those 2 lawmakers in place showing bipartisan support for this bill. And as I said before, I don't stop at nothing to ensure that I continue this message that public officials, lawmakers, everybody in federal government gets off of their asses, gets off of their seats, ladies and gentlemen, and does what we require, the monetary ammunition to save this country. Because without small businesses, which constitute 31.7 million small businesses, 99.9% of all businesses in the United States, employing 60.6 million people, this economy is dead, ladies and gentlemen. And without us being as consumers, as both servicers to consumers and Americans, period. So they better get something done as quickly as possible, ladies and gentlemen, in order so we can have the monetary ammunition, because they're not doing it. Public officials are not out there doing what they need to do to save this country, putting the laws into place. And regardless of whether they do it, we're the ones that are still out there grinding, ladies and gentlemen, still doing what we have to do. Opening our businesses, whether we have limited services. I've given countless amount of discounts through my business and offered free services pro bono in order to keep everything in operation, in order to keep everything in movement nonetheless. I also spoke about the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, how there was an issue with the system, glitches that are causing people or causing the system to automatically decline applications that for applicants that have good enough credit, credit better than 570 according to the Vantage Score 3.0 model. That's the model that the Economic Injury Disaster Loan uses in order to identify whether the applicant is eligible for the economic injury disaster loan. So that's an error that's in this particular place. You don't see those errors coming through with the Paycheck Protection Program. They did offer more money, $190 billion for Paycheck Protection Program. Nonetheless, we don't see anything coming for the economic injury disaster loan as yet. I explained in the previous video how the Paycheck Protection Program has more ability to be able to return favors to lobbyists and special interests such as Rocket Loans and Quicken Loans, and that is why we are not seeing enough attention to the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. But if we get it additional coverage, if we ensure that more people are enjoying the benefits of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan by watching these videos, by sharing them, by go ahead and tweeting our public officials, seeing our congressional representatives over at govtrack.us/Congress/members/map. You can identify who's your congressional representative and go ahead and send out messages and tell them that you want them to support S.4227 and more funding. And we get the attention required so more people enjoy it. Because I was even thinking, I was putting some numbers together. When the Small Business Administration, when Javita Carranza, the administrator of the Small Business Administration, announced the conclusion of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, it benefited 8 million small businesses. Nonetheless, look at the dozens of millions of businesses that they boast about that benefited from the Paycheck Protection Program. And look how they never capped it. They never capped it. They kept the cap at $10 million. Nonetheless, they were supposed to disperse up to $2 million for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and they capped it at $500,000, then at $15,000. They capped the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Advance Program at $1,000 per employee, as opposed to what congressional intent, according to what lawmakers are talking about, was congressional intent to disperse the full $10,000 to every legitimate small business applicant. They didn't do anything of such. So we have to continue to spread the word in regards to Economic Injury Disaster Loan Advance Program. Also, get more people to apply. If you know people that have small businesses, get them to apply. Tell them about the program. Tell them about the benefits of the program. This next statement will go ahead and respond to many of your frequently asked questions, such as, if you didn't get the grant the first time, under the S.4227 package, under that proposal, will you receive it? You will automatically, according to one of the clauses in S.4227 in the text, you will receive the full the disbursement of the full $10,000 if you didn't receive it the first time. And if you receive, let's say, $1,000 or $2,000, you will get the remainder, whatever the Small Business Administration, whatever the federal government will owe you under this plan. They'll go ahead and have to disperse you the remaining $8,000 if you receive $2,000 during the first round, or $9,000 during the first round, ladies and gentlemen. So let me know what you think. Go ahead and drop your comments in the comment section below. I've been basically just telling you everything in regards to what's happening with the stimulus package, how that benefits our S.4227 cause, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget the new Republicans. They don't want to talk about it anymore. Yep, exactly. They robbed us. Absolutely, Donald Leatherman. Absolutely. They completely vicked us, as we say in New York City, ladies and gentlemen, because they didn't do what, according to what they're talking about, was congressional intent, ladies and gentlemen. This is my brother right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Charles Rodriguez.
How you doing?
Charles Rodriguez, the baby brother right here. We're just out here in Pennsylvania practicing social distancing and everything that everyone, all public officials are advising in order to take the family out for a bit. Nonetheless, my fight does not stop, ladies and gentlemen. I stay on top of everything that's going on to ensure that you enjoy all the monetary ammunition that you need as small business owners. Remember, we are an elite group, unlike any other organizations in this country, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the way that I see it. Bottom line, as long as the stock market is doing well, as long as these major corporations, public companies that have the funds to donate and give to politicians and keep these people happy, they don't care about anything else. So they put up this big spectacle that one side is saying no, while the other side is trying to say yes, and the other side is saying no, while the other side is saying there's no compromise in place. Everybody's rejecting and walking out of offices, this, that, and the third. They're just doing that because they don't care at this particular moment in time. But we're going to make them care, ladies and gentlemen. So let me know what you think. Drop your comments in the comment section below. I'm about to take the drive out with the family just to take them out on this last weekend. And I'll continue to circle back, continue to stay abreast of what's going on, and do everything that I can and stop at nothing until each and every one of you is funded with everything for which you qualify, and to ensure that we maintain our position as the top superpower and the greatest country to ever exist on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, may God bless each and every one of you. May God bless the United States of America and everybody else on this planet. Talk to everybody soon. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you so much for forwarding the updates, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. Done with everything. Let me just see.
Put it in like this. Chris, put it in like this.
Let's do it. Let's do it through Twitter, wherever we can communicate with these people. We need to Twitter the president. Twitter the president. Twitter Senator Schumer. Twitter the... Go ahead and tweet. The House Speaker. Secretary Treasury Steve Mnuchin. Chief of the White House staff, Mark Meadows. Go ahead and get in touch with every single one of them. Every single one of them, ladies and gentlemen, because what they're doing is an absolute travesty. Executive orders that don't do anything. They don't even know if, as I said, I'm not even sure. I saw on CNN that the governor of Ohio, Republican governor, Mike DeWine, he stated that he does not know whether he can put the $400 supplemental payment that's coming from the federal government and 25% of it coming from states into place, ladies and gentlemen. Other reports are finding that, again, states will take months to put something like this into place, to put the changes into place to ensure that everybody gets paid. So they're doing this big spectacle in the interim. What about S.4227? That's what I want. That's what I'm pushing for. That's what I'd like for you to push for, so we can all help each other to save this country and make it as great as we can be, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to everybody in a minute. Feel free to drop your comments in the comment section below. I'll continue to stay abreast and keep you updated with any changes and what else we can do to ensure that everybody's funded, ladies and gentlemen. God bless each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day.